Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a page request for Lucas. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, whether it be random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, a full playthrough, whether the case may be, feel free to send it directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. So this is for the last thing of the Transformers Prime request for Lucas. He had me review the first 3 seasons, react to a certain episode from season 2, and now this movie that kind of ends that whole series, called Predacons Rising. Now granted, it's like Transformers Prime, Beast Wars, but I'm just going to call it Predacons Rising just for sake of argument, for simplicity's sake. Came out in 2013. And pretty much, for those who don't know, who didn't follow, Transformers Prime, you had Peter Cullen coming back as Optimus Prime. You had Bumblebee for pretty much all 3 seasons, only talking in beeps and boops. You had other Autobots. You had Bulkhead, this green, like big, ready to smash stuff Autobot. You had the medic, Ratchet, voiced by Jeffrey Combs from Reanimator. You had RC. And you had these humans. 3 humans. Miko being the worst, annoying bitch. Jack, who's kind of the leader of the 3, although I don't think he did as much as the series. He did a couple things, to be fair, important. And then the wannabe Jimmy Neutron kid, who's like smart as hell and a hacker. Throughout it, they're dealing with Megatron, they're dealing with Starscream, they're dealing with, eventually in Season 3, this Predatine who could turn into this dragon. And other stuff here and there. Some allies they gain. Smokescreen, who can phase because he's got this artifact, this relic. Wheeljack, who's a friend of Bulkhead, who's got an attitude. Michael Ironside as Ultra Magnus. And then you had stuff on the Decepticon side. You had Shockwave. I already forgot what the hell happened to Soundwave in Season 3. Completely forgot. Some characters they just completely forget about, like Arachnid, the lady, the Decepticon that was like a spider. They completely... She and her brethren teleported somewhere, and then she's not even mentioned in this. Adam Baldwin's character, who is a Decepticon, who had a rivalry with Bulkhead. You thought they were going to go head-to-head for a final time. Nah, he just gets killed because they pretty much didn't want to pay Adam Baldwin anymore. The first season of Transformers Prime I liked overall. There were bright spots in Season 2 and 3, but I thought they were disappointing at the end of the day. This, I didn't mind it for what it was. It does have an ending. If you're a fan of the show, it does conclude things where Cybertron is up and running. There's somewhat of a peace by the end of it. At the point of the beginning of this movie, Megatron is dead. Bumblebee killed him. Bumblebee got his voice back. His voice by Will Friedle, who is Batman Beyond. He was the lead voice in that. He's done voices and other stuff. He was on, I think, Boy Meets World. The other Autobots is there. Pretty much Cybertron is being restored. And so the team separates where Bumblebee is knighted as a warrior. Wheeljack and Optimus Prime have to go into space to get the Allspark to fully restart Cybertron. Bulkhead is leading this group to help rebuild the cities and stuff. Ultra Madness, voiced by Michael Ironside, and Smokescreen, they have to deal with whatever riffraff is left on there, including these Predacons that they're surprised are there. And you find out they've been cloned and they're working for Starscream and Shockwave. Pretty much the last remaining Decepticons. Well, one thing leads to another, and Unicron, the big bad of this movie, of this universe, possesses Megatron's body. And so Megatron, within his body, he'll see him diminutive while Unicron is massive, and pretty much Unicron keeps oppressing and torturing and shocking Megatron and says, tough shit, buddy, I'm going to use your body no matter what. I'm going to go back to Cybertron. And Megatron's like, to rule, and we'll rule together. And Unicron's like, no, I'm going to destroy it. Because I'm going to find my rival, Primus, not the band, but Primus, and I'm going to destroy fuck Cybertron. I'm going to start anew. And then the rest of the film is pretty much Bumblebee, RC, Bulkhead, and group trying to deal with Unicron, kind of waiting for Optimus Prime and Wheeljack to come back. The Predacons and the two clones decide to help by the end of it. Unicron has used his Dark Energon, which was on the TV show, to bring back these dead Predacons back and have an army, because they want to get into this place and destroy Unicron's rival that will completely fuck up and completely destroy Unicron for good. Now, it's not a long movie. I didn't realize this before watching it. It's only like an hour long. So I was a bit surprised by that. I figured, okay, it's going to be 80 minutes, 90 minutes. But it was only like an hour and 5 minutes. So it's a pretty short film. I think in a way that's a bit to its detriment because you have so many characters to deal with that obviously a lot of them are not going to have a lot of time. I mean, spoilers, Ultra Madness, which I'm always curious about when it's Michael Ironside, because I love Michael Ironside. He's a great actor, excellent voice, perfect voice for something like this. In the fight that he has with Smolescreen against these Predacons, he gets injured, and then the rest of the movie is just injured on a bed and just healed up by Ratchet. So you have Jeffrey Combs. He doesn't have a lot to do, him and his character. Michael Ironside, he's pretty much in bed for the rest of the movie. Bumblebee, I would give credit, he steps up and becomes a leader. They give a bit more now that he's got a voice. I guess they're like, well, now we can really utilize him as a character. And he tries to make peace with the Predacons. He's the one confronting Unicron, having a little bit of back and forth fight, while the others try to not fall into this molten lava, molten pit. So at least they give Bumblebee a bit more to do and to step up a bit more. Optimus Prime doesn't really have much to do. Him and Wheeljack are just in the space. They gotta grab this thing before the storm comes and they get out of the way, and then they don't show up till the end of the movie. So Optimus Prime, again, he doesn't have a whole lot to do. He gets into a little fight with Unicron. Which, I mean, it's a fight that isn't too memorable. I think because, like, the action scenes, there's a decent amount. It wasn't too boring because it's such a short film. Surprisingly, there are no humans in this movie. I was surprised. Not kind of surprised. I was very surprised. And on one end, I was happy because the humans were the lesser of importance to me on that show. But I'm surprised because they made it such a point that the humans are important characters. Now, granted, you say, well, yes, it involves Earth, so of course it would be. This involves Cybertron, so what the hell are these humans going to do? So I get why. But I'm surprised they didn't make an appearance. I'm surprised there's zero appearance. You figure, okay, it'd be at least a scene or two of hope you're doing well and we'll see you soon and some kind of acknowledgement. There's like zero acknowledgement of the humans. So I was a bit surprised by that. Again, part of me is like, that's a good thing, but again, as for continuity of the show, I mean, it fits, but it's just, again, it's considering this is the final end-all, be-all, the fact that there's zero acknowledgement of them. To repeat again was just a bit surprising. Again, it's just because you have so many characters to deal with, and even when the battle happens, the big battle at the end, most of them don't do anything. Because the big battle where the zombie army of Predacons and Unicron's leading them, it's the Predaking and the two clones of Predacons. The three of them go up and they use their flames to destroy a bunch of them. And then the Autobots are just fucking watching while the rest of the Predacons zombie army goes into the shaft and go in and are on their way. They're not even trying to fight. They're not trying to shoot. They're not trying to do a goddamn thing. They're just standing there with the thumb up their steely ass. And then Optimus arrives. He just do a little bit of fight with Unicron. Unicron's ready to stab him. Bumblebee uses a device to freeze him for a bit. So Optimus to get somewhere. Unicron fights him a little bit more, grabs the thing. Optimus Prime tricked him. There's nothing in it. Instead, his energy gets sucked in and captured. Because Optimus put the Allspark into him. So it was an empty shell, so that it was a trick, and then would go out of Megatron's body into this thing here. And then Megatron, he's alive, but then he's like, I don't want to be a bad guy anymore. Now, they try to explain it where I now know how it feels to be oppressed. I never want to do that again. But then when you're inside, like, his mind or whatever, then you should really delve into that. Delve into, since he can't do anything, think about when he was friends with Optimus Prime or Orion Pax. And have him have doubts. Doubts of what he's doing. Doubts of what he did. Regrets. Let's really get into the thoughts of Megatron. So that even though he says, I know how it feels to be oppressed, that wasn't enough for me to buy that he made this big change. This is a monumental thing when you see what Megatron has done throughout the 3 seasons. Killed Bumblebee. Bumblebee's alive because he fell into the thing, got rejuvenated, and then stabbed Megatron. So it needed to be more. It needed to be a lot more. It's just, well, yeah, he was in there, so now he was oppressed. He feels bad. He doesn't want to do anymore. Then Starscream's like, I'll be the leader, but then the Predacons come after him, and it's off screen, so you don't know what happened. I guess you're assuming they killed him, or beat the shit out of him, or, I don't know, raped him. I don't fucking know what happened to him. I don't even remember what happened, the shockwave. I think the Predacons attacked him, but I don't know if they outright destroyed him. I think this is a movie that, while it was nice to see a lot of these characters in here, while the action scenes are decent enough, it's nice to see and hear Bumblebee have an actual voice. It's cool that there's no sequel bait ending, there's no cliffhanger ending. This needed to be longer. I mean, it being only an hour, I don't think does it justice. The fact that the Autobots don't really do it, most of them don't really do shit at the end in the big battle. They're just standing there. I thought it was a weird choice. Again, Megatron's change, I don't want to say, I almost want to say it comes out of the blue. I almost want to, even though I guess explained it. It felt lacking. Like, I thought it was okay because it was, easy to watch. It being only an hour, there's not really any time for it to slow down. But again, it's a lot of characters in a short amount of time. A lot of them, like Ratchet and Ultra Madness, at the end of the day, you put it to the back burner. For a big climactic battle, for most of your Autobots to not do jack shit is kind of weird. And it ends with, oh, Optimus Prime dies again. Only this time it's more of a heroic swan song where I have the Allspark, I can't disconnect it, I gotta restore Cybertron. So he goes off, he says some words, you have these like fireworks and stuff, colorful. Cybertron's born again, it's like a happy, heroic sacrifice route. I'm like, how many fucking times does Optimus Prime have to die in this whole fucking Transformer franchise? He died in the 80s movie, he died in Michael Bay films, he's pretty much died twice on this show at least. It would have been 3 times. I'm trying to remember now. It's like he's always fucking dying. So it is what it is. So again, it was okay. It was watchable. Not something I would ever see again though. But again, give credit that there's no humans in it. It's Autobots all the way. But yeah, if you want to see, which is not fair because this had a much bigger budget, Transformers 1 to me is still the better Transformers film for me. I say, I mean, I don't like the 80s Transformers film, except the music. So, I would say as a film, I like this more. Just because I like the characters. I do like Bulkhead. I do like Ratchet. I just wish they had more to do. But again, that's the trouble. You have so many characters, you have so little time. So it's hard to get everybody involved in a satisfying way. But there's a lot of them don't do a whole lot, which is, I thought, a bit weird. They're there, they're present, but that's almost just it, you know. Maybe that's just me. But with that said, if you're a Transformers fan, you watch the show, this gives you a little bit of closure. So that's more than some movies do. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.